Hello, this is Max. Today you will hear the story of how two young girls and their boyfriends decided to go to the sauna, but it turned out to be a tragedy. The movie starts with Jenna and her boyfriend returning home after a family dinner, but they are involved in a fatal car accident. Jenna survives with minor injuries, but her boyfriend tragically dies, leaving her deeply affected. 3 years later, Jenna is still struggling to recover from the loss. She avoids dating anyone, fearing the pain of losing someone again. Jenna's childhood best friend, Renee, invites her to spend time at a lakeside cabin, and Jenna agrees, hoping it will help her heal. They travel to the cabin on a speedboat with Renee's boyfriend, Michael, and Michael's friend, Ian, whose uncle owns the cabin. During the journey, it becomes evident that Michael is playful and carefree, entertaining the girls. After reaching the cabin and meeting Ian's uncle Wade, who offers them welcome drinks, Jenna politely declines and goes inside to take her medicine. However, she decides against it, not wanting to rely on medication. That night, while having dinner, Wade mentions a local festival and provides tickets for the group. Jenna observes Wade giving Michael some weed when she goes outside to play with Wade's dog. Jenna confides in Renee, who reveals Michael's addiction to drinking and smoking. Renee expresses her unsuccessful attempts to help him quit. When Renee asks Jenna if she's enjoying herself, Jenna reassures her that she's okay and having fun. Wade departs early to take care of the fireworks for the festival. The rest of the group plans to join him but discovers a sauna in the cabin. Tempted by the opportunity, Michael convinces the others to have a steam bath before heading to the festival. Jenna reluctantly agrees to join her friends in the sauna when they insist, but she feels uneasy about it. Before going upstairs to prepare, she takes off her late boyfriend's ring from around her neck and keeps it along with her pills. Afterward, Jenna grabs 2 bottles of water and enters the sauna. Ian mentions that Wade built the sauna himself and explains its functioning, heating stones in an electric oven to maintain the temperature. As the heat intensifies, everyone starts sweating profusely. Ian suggests taking a dip in the lake to cool off, but they quickly feel the chill and return to the warmth of the cabin. The guys gather in the kitchen for drinks while the girls go back to the sauna. In his intoxicated state, Michael re-enters the sauna with Ian and tries to persuade Renee to join him in their room. Renee refuses, expressing her discomfort being around him when he's drunk. She continues to criticize his behavior, prompting Michael to leave on his own to consume more alcohol and drugs. Renee vents her frustration about Michael's drinking problem, mentioning that she always ends up taking care of him at parties. She notes that he used to be kind and understanding, but he has changed. Ian, present in the room, defends Michael and attempts to explain his friend's behavior, which only aggravates Renee's anger. She is tired of constantly looking after others. Suddenly, a loud noise from outside catches everyone's attention. Concerned that Michael may have hurt himself, Renee decides to check on him. However, she encounters difficulty in opening the sauna door. Ian also tries but fails to open it, adding to the confusion. Jenna's panic escalates, and she screams in fear, believing something terrible has occurred. Renee swiftly calms her down and asks if she took her medication, but Jenna confesses that she didn't because she's trying to live without relying on pills. As desperation sets in, they call out for Michael through the small glass window, but they receive no response despite their repeated attempts. Ian assumes that Michael is playing a prank on them and will eventually let them out. However, Jenna reveals that Wade had given Michael weed, so even if it is a prank, Michael may forget that he locked them inside the sauna. Renee remains neutral, seemingly unaffected, even though she is trapped in the scorching sauna. After their brief argument, Ian peeks through the window and notices an obstruction blocking the door. Renee suggests breaking the window, but Ian is reluctant to damage his uncle's property and insists they find an alternative way out. He assures them that they have enough air supply and emphasizes that their main concern should be the rising temperature. Jenna spots something behind the thermometer, which Ian explains is a thermostat. However, they cannot control the heat from inside as the controls are outside the sauna. The thermostat only signals the heater to turn off when the desired temperature is reached. Ian advises against tampering with it. In the next scene, gas starts hissing, and Ian becomes worried that the room's temperature is gradually increasing. Renee grows impatient and attempts to break the glass window using a ladle, but she fails. Witnessing Renee's desperation, Ian ultimately decides to break the window himself. He uses a towel and the ladle to remove a hot stone from the heater, quickly cools it in water, and then uses it to strike the window repeatedly. Despite his efforts, the glass remains unbroken, and his hand begins to bleed. However, he remains determined and continues to exert all his strength. Ian's perseverance pays off as the glass finally shatters, allowing fresh air to enter the room. They call out for Michael through the broken window but receive no response. Upon examining the window, Ian realizes that Michael did lock them in. There's a ladder wedged between the doorknob and the raised platform. Although relieved by the cooler temperature, they soon discover that the heater will turn back on because they had set the sauna temperature to 185 degrees earlier. With the broken window, the sauna will never reach that temperature, and the heater will remain on. Ian proposes a solution, using a towel-wrapped truck to remove the ladder. Despite his expertise and determination, he fails in his attempt. Time is running out, and Renee suggests breaking the thermostat to deactivate the heat. However, Ian intervenes, warning of the potential danger if their attempt fails and the temperature rises to a hazardous 250 degrees. This leads to an argument between Jenna and Renee. Exhausted, the girls continue to debate, while Ian devises a new plan. He suggests blowing the fuse of one of the sauna lights, hoping it will cut off the cabin's power. Though risky, it's a path they must take. After careful consideration, Ian removes the light bulb and uses a wet towel to forcefully jam the socket, aiming to cause a short circuit. Unfortunately, the plan goes awry, and Ian gets electrocuted. He collapses unconscious, prompting the girls to rush to his aid. The situation worsens as the room plunges into darkness. The scene shifts to the ground near the festival venue, where Wade is occupied with setting up the fireworks. Several hours pass, and the condition of Ian and the others continues to deteriorate. Suddenly, they hear Wade's dog barking. Their hope reignites, and they start calling out for the dog. The intelligent animal hears their cries and realizes they are in trouble. Simultaneously, Michael arrives at the scene and notices the agitated dog. When Renee and the others hear his voice, they scream loudly. However, Wade initiates the fireworks display, drowning out their cries for help. The dog approaches Wade and guides him back to the cabin. Along the way, they encounter Michael, who had passed out on the couch earlier due to the effects of the weed. Michael wakes up after hearing the dogs barking and assumes his friends have already left for the festival without him. He explains that he had previously been turned away from the festival because he didn't have the ticket with him. Wade feels remorseful and invites Michael to his home for more weed. Meanwhile, Renee and the rest of the group run out of water, and Renee's impatience grows. In a state of desperation, Renee prepares to smash the thermostat with a rock, but Jenna intervenes, trying to stop her. In the struggle, Jenna accidentally strikes Renee on the head with the rock, causing her to lose consciousness. Jenna immediately feels overwhelming regret and breaks down in tears, explaining that she didn't intend to harm her friend. Ian moves the unconscious Renee away from the heater and assures Jenna that everything will be fine. However, Jenna is shaken by the incident and continues to explain that she was trying to prevent Renee from destroying the thermostat, as Ian had previously warned that it would result in their death. To her surprise, when she asks Ian how he knew about this, he reveals that he was merely guessing. Jenny is stunned, and in a fit of anger, she breaks the thermostat herself. Much to their horror, the heater unexpectedly turns on. With the temperature rising steadily, Ian's feelings of despair and panic intensify. In a last-ditch effort, he makes the decision to destroy the heater with his own hands. Unfortunately, Ian's ill-advised decision to destroy the heater results in his death as he is burned alive. The heater then explodes, but miraculously, Jenna manages to open the door just in time to save herself. After getting out of a life-threatening situation, Jenna drinks water and goes outside. She heads to her room to take her medication, but something feels off. It dawns on her that she is still inside the sauna and had been hallucinating. Meanwhile, Michael returns to the cabin after smoking with Wade. Not finding anyone around, he smokes some more and falls asleep on the couch. Jenna, Renee, and the deceased Ian remain trapped in the sauna. Renee regains consciousness, and Jenna helps her breathe better by positioning her near the window to avoid the gas leak. Jenna improvises a makeshift support using towels tied together and suspends them from the beam to keep Renee close to the window. Jenna discovers the source of the gas leak and manages to cover it with a ladle before she herself loses consciousness. The story then shifts to a flashback, revealing how the problem originated. It transpires that Michael had accidentally caused a mess outside the sauna when he tripped earlier. Due to his intoxicated state, he neglected to clean up and left the ladder positioned against the door, which later became wedged between the door and the elevated flare when Renee attempted to exit the sauna. Returning to the present, Wade comes back and notices Renee trapped in the sauna when he peeks through the window. Alarmed, he contacts the authorities, summoning the police and paramedics. Finally, the survivors are rescued, and Michael realizes his grave mistake, breaking down in remorseful tears. The movie concludes inside the ambulance, where Renee reaches out to hold Jenna's hand, seeking solace and support. Thank you for watching. You can subscribe and give this video a like. Goodbye.